Hey guys, and welcome back to G's Autos. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alright, so more work has been done on Nigel, and as the title of this episode says, we're going to be doing a refurb on the entire AC system. So there's going to be a short series of videos covering all of that. But first I want to show you, this is all of the rubbish and junk wiring I pulled out of the car and under the dash. Now, all the very, very long cables to do with the rear speakers. There's a couple of those, but the rest of it is just absolute waste of junk that's been put under the dash for different reasons, connecting different things, heaps of dodgy connections, exposed wires. It was an absolute shambles. So all that is now gone. So I've now moved on to the AC system, and I've torn everything out from the dash pad, everything out. So here's a quick look at how it all looks now. So in this video, we're going to take the first step in having a look at all the components to do with the AC system and show you what's been done so far and give you a rundown of what's going to get done next. Alright guys, enough out of me. I hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching. See you guys. Okay, let's start by looking at the AC compressor. This is how it looks now, but let's take a look at how it did look. This is how it looked when it was originally in Nigel's engine bay. As you can see, this now looks a whole lot better. So it was given a really good clean. Look, it's not perfect, but it's going to do the job. So apparently the bearing is still very good in it. I did take it to the AC, my local AC shop, and they did check it over, and it has been topped up with fluid. As you can hear, it can apparently it's still not too bad. So I didn't bother spending the money and buying a replacement one. Just had it topped up with fluid, and I gave it a really good clean. So I probably will go over and just clean a few more little bits up on this, but I'm very happy with where this is at now. What I'm going to do is, at the end of the refurb of the system, I am going to run you through and give you the amount of what each component cost to get it refurbed. So we will be doing that. Alright, let's move on to the next part. Alrighty, the receiver dryer. Okay, this is obviously the original one that was on the car. Took that off. I wasn't even going to bother putting that one back on. So I asked the guys to provide me a replacement new one, and that's what we have here. J-Air. Okay, so that's going to do a lot better job and look a lot better as well. Okay, next part. Alright, and here we have the evaporator. Alright, it was in pretty good condition, to be honest. I was quite surprised. Now, the guys actually flushed out the TX valve in both directions to make sure it was nice and clean and there was nothing blocking. They put on some new hose coverings there. They capped it. It was all fully flushed, cleaned out. The evaporator was actually removed and cleaned and flushed as well, and it's come up quite nice. So I'm pretty happy with it. I might go and replace these foam sections. I will be going through anywhere I see old foam. It is going to be replaced. So I'll just flip this over. See, it looks pretty good. So I'm thinking at some stage it was replaced. So I'm pretty happy with that, and it looks pretty good. So that's that part. They're the two pipes that go into the engine bay. And there's the drain pipe, which goes down through the firewall and leaks out onto the road. Alright, let's take a look at the next bit. Here we have the heater core. Now, this isn't the original one that came out of the car. This is a spare that I actually had sitting around from another Corolla that I tore down. So, in Nigel originally, these two pipes snapped off when I was taking the heater pipes off. So that can't be repaired, so I'm going to use this one here. Now, you'll see in here all that old filter foam, all that is going to be replaced. I have picked up replacement foam. Looks pretty gnarly in there. And all this is going to get a really good clean out. I'm going to strip it down, get out all the dust and so forth. Really important that I clean out all the ducts, get out all the any dirt and debris that might be sitting in there. I want it all cleaned up, and I want it working really, really nicely. So this will be the trickiest bit, I think, getting in there, replacing all the foam sections, and making sure it's in good working order. Get in there, clean out all the dust and so forth. There's more foam in there. Let's see if we can get you a better picture of that. All that needs to come out. And a little bit of foam in there. All that needs to be replaced as well. And given a really good clean. Now, I do want to flush out that heater core as well. Make sure that there's no debris and crud in there. Make sure it's working nice. So that's another job that I'll need to do. And yeah, so looking forward to getting all this up to tip-top condition. Alright, let's take a look at the next component. What we're looking at now are all the AC lines. These connect all the components up under the hood. So, I've had all new seals put on everywhere. So all the seals have been replaced. I've had new valves put in here, and there's another one where another valve's gone in. All of these threads in there, they've all been lubed up and cleaned. All these pipes have been pressure cleaned. Fully flushed. Now, there's a seal in there that's also been replaced. Now, the four there, I will replace myself. I was given those in a separate baggie. This one here to throw in when I'm ready. And that smaller one there, that is for this part here, which is the AC pressure switch. So I have that as well. So that was a bit damaged when I tore down the car, so I'll show you what's happened there. So all these came up really nice. To clean these up, I just put them onto a wire wheel on a bench and got rid of all the crud and uglies off it, and it turned out quite good. So they're all rip-roaring ready to go. So it should be a pretty much straightforward rebuild. And the condenser is already on the car. That copped a really good clean out of paint, so that's all good to go. So what is next? Let me have a look. Let me run you through some of the other stuff that I picked up. Okay, here we have the AC pressure switch. So this threads in, hopefully you can, that threads into that aluminium pipe I showed you earlier. And that O-ring there, little black O-ring, needs to be replaced. Now, this is the original one that was in Nigel's engine bay. Now, the problem was, these two wires here, they'd actually snapped off right at the exterior housing there. So I'm very lucky. I work with an electrical engineer, and he fixed up the sensor. He put new wires going into the sensor and capped it with some type of epoxy resin, and put a nice wiring, couple of wires on there, and hooked up a nice weatherproof connector there for me. So basically all I need to do now is get the other end of the connector and put that onto the other two wires that come off the harness at this location, and that one should be good to go. So that turned out really nice. Look, I know you can buy replacement units of these, but hey, I was just all about just fixing this one up, and yeah, just wanted to go that direction. So that turned out really nice. Alright, let's take a look at the next part. Okay, this is the fan unit. As you can see, that is fairly gnarly looking. It is full of dirt and crud and filth. All this needs to be cleaned out thoroughly. You shake it, you can hear stuff rattling around inside. That filter foam all needs to be replaced. Now, I did buy replacement filter. This is AC filter foam. Now that is actually $70 a square meter, so only buy what you need, obviously, because it's not cheap. I picked up some this is like a foam mat, So I'll use that where I need to. And this is some foam strip with an adhesive backing on it. So that way I just want to do all the joints and everything. Like all these need to be fixed up. New foam put along there. Just seal it up nicely so I'm getting a really good seal through all the air ducts. And the whole system stays nice and cool. So I'm going to show you some of the ducting that has been taken out of the car. So let's have a quick look at that. Alright, here is some of the ducting that I pulled out from under the dash. Now this one here, this is the one that sits under the dash pad. Now this is the one that came out of the car. As you can see, it doesn't seal too good there. However, I do have a replacement, which is actually sealed up quite nicely. So here's one I prepared earlier, and as you can see, it is sealed up quite nicely. So I will use this one, which is good quality. Now all these ducts that I've pulled out of the from under the dash, they all need to be flushed. They all need to be cleaned. I've got doubles of everything basically, so I'll pick the best of what I've got. And all new foam needs to go onto bits like this, so it all seals up quite nicely. As you can see, stuff just needs a really good clean. Yeah, so all this is going to cop a really good clean, get all the debris and mouse poo and whatever else is in there. So I've got nice, cool air flowing through, clean air as well flowing through the entire system. So all these vents and things that came off the dash, all those need to be scrubbed and cleaned. As you can see, all the old foam has just deteriorated over time, is, you know, as you'd expect. So yeah, looking forward to cleaning all this stuff up and having a nice setup AC system. Really looking forward to that. And yeah, so that's where we stand at the moment. So the next video I'll be doing is that I'll be stripping down that old heater core and cleaning that out and cleaning up all these bits and pieces and wiping everything down and replacing foam. So keep an eye out for that video. This first one, I just want to give you a rundown on all the components so you could get a good idea of what I was doing. And yeah, we'll do all the work on the next video. Alright guys, appreciate you watching and keep an eye out for part 2 of this AC refurb. Thanks guys, see ya.